Welcome to the More Than Just Dumbbells podcast. My name's Jason Lindsay.
My name is Kitty Truax.
It is Kitty Truax.
And your name is Jason.
It is.
Still,
yeah.
to this day?
It is.
Same haircut, same name.
Well, no, it's a new haircut.
New haircut.
Not an old haircut, but a new haircut.
You can see him on camera.
So,
hey,
yeah,
new haircut.
You know, so I like my hair long.
Longish.
Longish, not long. You know,
Mine's long.
I don't like to cut my hair. Here's the deal. I have hair, so I wanted to
You're lucky.
Yeah,
a lot of
so
men your age don't.
But then it's gray and it flares out on the side, and I see pictures like on Thanksgiving, and I'm like, God.
Like the Tyler Durden one?
I look old. No.
Oh, Thanksgiving pictures. Okay,
yeah, I look old and just gray and bloated anyway.
You don't like the Richard Gere?
It's ugly. No, but I mean, part of it's because I need to lose weight, and I'm still in that in good segue to
great segue.
But so I went and got my hair cut. Now here's the thing. Here's the question I have for you before we get to our topic, our hot topic, which is
I used to shop there quite often. Do you remember that store?
Okay, well, kind of a segue. If your friend named, I don't know, Jane or John,
okay,
owned a store that was a competitor of Hot Topic but cost a little more, would you go there?
Yes.
Do you do that? Do you support your friends?
I support my friends.
If you have a friend that's an accountant, do you use that accountant?
Yes.
See, I see these things going on Facebook, you know, where it's like, hey, you should do this. It costs more.
Support local.
And I'm sure people like it and go, but so then
do they really?
Do they actually really do that?
I feel that.
And I just.
I actually just put a meme out today that said, you know what's not stuck on a cargo ship?
What?
Massage therapists and hairstylists
yeah, right.
and entrepreneurs that are in your backyard.
Yeah. So, yeah, and 100%. So I would get my hair cut by a gal named Heather Bowman.
Shout out.
And she moved to Los Angeles.
Good for her.
And she
to do hair?
Well, and probably other things too.
Okay.
And so I can't get my hair cut by her anymore. It's a 4-hour flight one way. And
touche.
Expensive haircut.
Yeah.
So I think even having those limits, people won't understand. I'm not,
she's my friend, but I'm not going to.
I'm not going to pay $300 round trip. You could probably get $200 round trip to L.A. Actually, now that I think about it, I could probably make it work once in a while.
Well,
anyway, so I started going to Sport Clips. And I don't know anybody that owns a Sport Clips, but I just went to that because I didn't know anybody else. But then I went to the class reunion.
Yeah.
My 30 year. Dated myself.
I know.
There.
I remember. You telling me.
And I ran into an old friend, high school acquaintance.
Sure.
And she is super cool, and it's about a 20-minute drive, but she cuts hair.
But it's worth it.
And I'm like, yeah, this makes total sense. Why wouldn't I do this?
I love that.
Yeah.
I really, really.
So I don't think that.
Props to you.
I thank you. I think I do this more than I realize. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I was like, I saw that meme. I'm like, am I a hypocrite? Because I like that stuff. Because I've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I was a business coach. I get that. Not everybody owns a business, but I tell you what, I had plenty of friends. Some of them are even on this podcast. I won't name names.
Right.
Who didn't hire me. Probably because they didn't think they needed a business coach, but maybe they
wake
whatever.
up, Pueblo.
No, he hired me.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he's smart. Look what he's doing.
Look what he's doing.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about today, Kitty?
New Year's resolutions.
Yeah. So
yeah.
is that a okay? I think this is a good topic.
To make a resolution.
Here's the deal. You're watching or listening to this podcast about a week before 2022.
Correct.
Is that'd be the year?
2022. Yeah.
And
what the hell year are we in?
I don't know.
Yeah. Whew.
And so we thought this would be a good time versus waiting until the week of or the day of.
Yes.
To talk about New Year's resolution. In fact, you could argue we should have done this last week, but we didn't. Here we are. So where do you want to start? Where do you want to go with this?
Do you know where New Year's resolutions even started or where they came from?
No idea.
So according to history.com and howstuffworks.com, the Babylonians about 4,000 years ago set resolutions because they wanted to be in the good graces of the gods. So they made promises to the gods, like, I'm going to give all of the tools that I've borrowed from my brother back to them. I'm going to pay off all my debts because they wanted to be in good graces of the gods. Now that actually took place mid-March. Then Julius Caesar.
Well, they didn't have a calendar back then.
And now the Gregorian calendar, so I'm getting there. Julius Caesar changed New Year's resolution time to January 1st after the god Janus, Janus, because apparently the god Janus is the god of archways. So you're looking behind you and looking forward at the same time. And that's where January 1st on the Gregorian calendar came from.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So if I'm hearing you right, New Year's resolutions go back a long
back
ways.
a long time.
And in
or just bettering yourself at some point of the year with intention.
Yeah.
Goes back a long time.
Okay. Do you think that in contemporary times, New Year's resolutions is a global thing? I mean, are they doing this in Taiwan?
I don't know. I didn't look that up. That's a great question. If anyone knows the answer, please get a hold of us. Podcast@powerblock.com.
I'm going to make an assumption I'm going to make a prediction that they do.
Okay.
That they do.
Dig it.
But in America, I know sure as heck we do, right?
Yes. And I do know the numbers of Americans that make resolutions and those that actually succeed at those resolutions.
Do tell.
45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions.
You should have had me guess. You should have had me guess.
But I'll have you guess how many of those 45% actually succeed.
What percentage?
Yes.
Less than 10?
Less than 10 is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
8%.
So, yeah. And here's how I took that guess, by the way.
Sure. Please do.
Because I found a study out of Sweden. So
Sweden.
We know they do it in Sweden for sure, not just America, is out of what kind of resolutions?
Sure.
33% are physical health.
Yeah.
20% to lose weight, which you might sound
kind of the same idea to me.
Yeah, I don't know how they differentiated them, but 33% physical health, 20% to lose weight, 13% to change eating habits.
Right. Okay.
9% personal growth, and 5% for mental health, sleep type stuff.
Okay.
So
to just better their stress levels.
So if you take away the mental health, sleep, and the personal growth, you're at basically 80% related to like how they look.
Sure.
And
how they feel, how they look,
so there's that. And that's just Sweden, but America's probably similar, I would have guessed.
Okay.
Let's go with it. And then you take in the account that we've talked about on recent episodes that not only are we obese, but we're more obese than we were 20 years ago. So this shit ain't working.
No,
apparently.
No, it's not.
So
why do you think it doesn't work, Jay?
I'm going to give you the Al Pacino from Son of a Woman answer. Because it's too damn hard.
Because they make it too damn hard. I think you're absolutely right. Is that they have these grandiose visions, or it's actually too broad.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose weight.
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
There's no plan in action.
Plans would be nice.
So that's kind of what I wanted this podcast to be, is some tips as to how to set a resolution that you can be the 8% of Americans that actually succeed at said resolution.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing encouraging about this, I will say, if I can,
you're going to encourage? Yes.
Which the weight loss people, you know, the Sanfords and the Jenny Craigs aren't going to like.
Okay.
But that 8% is actually higher than the percentage of people who actually fulfill their weight loss goals at at any weight loss place. Not just, I mean, I'm not just singling out them.
Sure.
But any kind of like weight loss clinic or center, they actually a year later have that weight off.
Wow.
It's less than 5. It's so low. Now they would disagree, but it's true. Trust me. It's the numbers suck. So that tells me that some people that
really.
Here's where I'm going with this.
Holy moly.
I'm saying that if you are serious about weight loss, if that is your goal,
sure,
and that
it seems to be quite,
then there's no better time than New Year's to do that. But one of the reasons why I think it's good we're doing this a week out, and we should have maybe even done this 2 or 3 weeks out, is I do think it's important for you to plan ahead for this.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes.
I'm not saying that in the 2 weeks that you're planning, you should be throwing cheesecake down your gullet if your weight loss is your goal, going, you know what,
Christmas you go all out, is that what you're saying?
When we're talking planning, we're talking about, all right, I got to get my
mindset
and everything around
100%.
how the heck I'm going to pull this off. Maybe that's a strong phrase, but you get my point.
Yeah,
how I'm actually going to fulfill, how I'm going to do this. So.
It's not lose weight. It's, for example, when it's broad, I'm going to lose weight. Well, great. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day.
Yeah.
That's at least a small step that is attainable, easily manageable, instead of I'm just going to lose weight and then being like...
So fail to plan to fail, right?
Bingo,
right?
Ben Franklin. Thank you very much. Benji Frank.
Did he say that?
Yep, sure did. Yep.
All right. So, which is... that doesn't matter. We won't talk about it. So let's do this.
Sure.
Let's start with even before planning.
Sure.
We're going with any New Year's resolution, but specifically going with weight loss.
Okay, we can do that.
Do you want to do that?
I can do that.
I kind of want to do that because I think that is
easy peasy.
That I think that benefits our listeners the most. right?
I like where you're at with that. I say go for it.
So you've got to start by being realistic, right?
I would say first know yourself, before, and do some self-reflection.
Such as
really what motivates you? What is it that is going to really make a difference? What are you going to want to show up for? So before you even start planning anything, an easily attainable, not overwhelming goal that you're actually going to freaking enjoy.
Yeah. Give me an example then with weight loss. What would that how that would look like?
For example, like we've talked about Tabata in a couple episodes previous.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to that one, it was rad, by the way. If you enjoy Tabata, make that a part of your weight loss goal. Or the steps in which to do so.
Can we start by talking about realistic weight loss goals, please?
Oh, well, why don't you rock that out then?
Okay, if somebody has 100 pounds to lose, should their New Year's goal be, I'm going to lose 100 pounds?
Probably not.
Okay,
that's extremely overwhelming.
What would be a better way to approach it?
I'm going to lose 10 pounds by March 1st.
There we go, Kitty. You're so smart.
I like to think so. Thanks, Jay.
Okay, and
then track it.
But let's
sure.
But
we'll get there.
On that note, what is a realistic per week amount of weight to lose for somebody who's seeking weight loss? Healthy and realistic.
Healthy and realistic. I would say 1 to 2 pounds a week.
They've been saying that for years. It seems to be the actual.
Legit?
Yeah.
Too legit to quit?
Because here's the thing. If you're obese and you have 100 pounds to lose, or you want to lose 100 pounds by some date.
Sure.
Which is going to be way out there, by the way. Then it's your first week or two, you're probably going to lose more than 1 or 2. But in general, you should be thinking to lose 1 or 2 pounds per week.
On average.
So the 10 by March 1st is a dang realistic goal.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So because here's where I'm going with this. I think if you have big weight loss as your goal, or moderate weight loss as your goal, by saying, I want to lose 60 pounds by whenever, man, it's so far out there, right?
Right.
So you should probably make
a first quarter goal, a second quarter goal, a third quarter goal.
And I'm a big believer in shorter goals, even like in the first month I want to lose 4 or 5. And
that's absolutely doable. If it's 1 to 2 pounds, 4 to 5 pounds in 1 month, that's kick butt. Take names.
So then you make the plan how you're going to do it. This is when you come in with the Tabata. Am I going to do a Tabata? Am I going to do running? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And we always encourage you to seek out a fitness professional. Go to our podcast episode list and find somebody on there that does online training.
Tons of options.
Chris Proctor,
100%.
Kitty Truax.
Be rad.
Be rad, yeah. A lot of people changing lives, high-fiving, and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah. So
good vibes.
How are you going to do that? Now, then it's not just exercise, it's food, right? I mean, when it comes to weight loss.
Fork put downs and table push aways.
Yeah, so
says Jason.
You got to figure all this out ahead of time. So that's just why don't wait till January 1. And if you do wait till January 1, then you're just probably going to have to start January 15th or whatever, right? I mean, just
speaking of January 15th-ish, right? Just a little side bay. So in 2021 or 2019, I'm sorry, they someone did a 800 million person type of a let's get some information. And January 19th is apparently Quitter's Day. January 19th, out of 800 million people in 2019, they did a survey, and Quitter's Day is January 19th. So make it past January 19th.
For resolutions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, as a former gym owner and longtime gym employee, been in gyms working, it is the...
You're a gym rat?
Well, especially in the upper north.
Yeah.
But anywhere in the country. But it is, January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Packed.
The floodgates really get going about the 5th to the 10th, but more people actually do join, or let me rephrase that. As many people do join in February as January. Now, part of that's because there's those people that are like, I know how crazy it's going to be.
Yes.
I'm going to wait. But there is that whole contract, sign them up in January, and then you just don't see them, and I hate that. I hate it as a gym owner. I don't like to see it as a not it's just a gym goer now.
Right.
But yeah. So, but I'm not surprised to hear that the 19th,
January 19th,
people give up on their. So plan ahead. If you're going to start on January 1, I probably, maybe it's January 2nd, depending on what your plans are. New Year's Eve, I think that's, and then it is recommended. I'm reading kind of some lists off some things I looked up online, Kitty. Make a pros and cons list.
I've seen that as well.
What do you think of that?
Give me a little bit more as to what pros and cons are you talking about? Like, I am good at this, I'm bad at this?
Probably.
Or is it more like stay positive instead of look at the negative? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
Because I like both of those options.
I think it's if I have 30 pounds, if I have 30 pounds to lose, what are the pros and what are the cons? Honestly, there are cons.
There are cons. I lack the motivation. I lack the motivation.
I don't like exercise. I
Sure,
like to eat cheesecake every, whatever, right? And I really like Chick-fil-A. No. So I think that has some sense. The next one I'm not sure I agree with.
Tell
on
me.
the list. Talk about it with your family.
Family, I also saw social media, get some accountability buddies, things like that, because the more people you tell, the more you're going to feel indebted or want to show up. I also am like,
no. I'll tell you why I don't
know. I don't know how I feel about sharing your goals all over social media.
Here's what I'll say.
Because then you make yourself feel worse if you don't get it on Quitter's Day by January 19th.
Possibly.
Right.
Possibly. Here's what I'll say to anybody that thinks that's
integrity.
a good idea. Is I'll ask you to Google, and I normally don't like to be this guy.
Google machine.
Google the psychology of telling somebody about a goal. And you might be surprised to find out that there is psychology to suggest that once you've said you're going to do something, you've already felt the endorphins or a lot of it that's associated with accomplishing the goal. And motivation is down.
Boom shakalaka.
I think that you keep this stuff to yourself personally and just do it.
Do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else.
So my nephew, 14-year-old, almost 14, who I showed how to work out, he's overweight, he's out of shape. It's up to him. I don't know that I can't control this, but I said, Colby, and I said, don't tell anybody. Just do this. This is you. Don't tell your friends, I'm going to the gym. They don't care. They don't give a crap about what you're doing. Just do it for yourself. Hopefully he stuck to that. I think he has a better chance if he does, but that's me.
And then how good is it going to feel when after a couple months, his friends are going to be like, wow, man, have you been going to the gym? Like that. Talk about an endorphin rush for that.
Yeah.
My husband and I talk about this all the time, where I feel like women talk about what they're going to do before they do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and this is obviously putting people in a box, whatever, a lot of male personalities just do it and then say, I did it.
Yeah.
Like Ryan literally looks at me, he's like, stop talking about it. Just freaking do it. And I was like, touche, baby. I appreciate that. Thanks for being my hubby bub.
Yeah, I'm 100% with him. I'm not perfect. I'm guilty of
I'm glad you know that. That's self-reflection.
It too much.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But I do know the psychology of that. I think it does make sense. I also think that you should reward yourself. Maybe not early and often, but at least on a regular basis while you're going through
this.
If
you lose that 10 pounds by March 1st,
especially if weight loss is your goal and your personality is of the such that you like to challenge. Hey, this week if I'm perfect on my diet this week, I'll allow myself something. I don't know. I'm not going to give you an idea.
Not food-wise, if possible.
It could be, but it would have to be something. It wouldn't be like, a whole pizza. I'm just, but maybe pizza's your jam and you're like, I'm going all week with being perfect on my meal planning. I'm going to have a couple
slices of my big ass Little Caesar's pizza or whatever it is.
Yeah, and if you're like me, you'll get the pizza uncut and you'll cut two big slices.
Big slices. Can you not cut the pizza, please? And then you eat half of it, and then you just roll into bed, and then start it again the next day.
I do think that you should track your progress as much as I know personalities like myself.
I will agree
it's hard to
with
do that
wholeheartedly.
But, and you have to be okay with realizing that when it comes to weight loss, it's finicky. It's not consistent all the time. So if you want to lose 2 pounds a week, and 1 week you go up 1 pound, I don't think you should stomp and kick your feet and say, gosh, I can't do this. I mean, you
jump back on the train.
Yeah, I mean, you're experiencing that as a trainer with some clients.
Absolutely. I had someone almost want to jump off the train because I had her start tracking her food.
Yeah.
She's like, this is hard and I don't want to do it. And I said, just do it for 3 days. Give me 3 days.
Yeah.
And then when she saw how much sugar she was getting in her Chobani and blueberries in the morning, like triple of what she should be getting, she was blown away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blown away.
No, that's great. And did that turn into a positive? So
absolutely. Now she's even more motivated to change. Also, I wanted to say that, avoiding decision fatigue when it comes to, the small steps that you're making. For example, set your clothes out the night before you go and do whatever, or a little bit of meal prep. Do the decision one day and don't think about it for the rest of the week. Because a lot of times, overanalysis paralysis, you're like,
Which is another reason why, despite that it's certain personalities resist this, and mine self included, it is a good idea to have your plan written out for the workout. I'm doing this tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is another reason why I think it's smart to do like 6-8 weeks the same workout. I think that's okay. We've talked about this 4 weeks.
100%.
So just do that one. Just write it down on a Sunday while you're watching. You know, whatever.
I've got the person I'm training right now doing the same workout for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks is fine. 4 weeks is even okay, right? And then just mix it up. So you don't have the decision fatigue, which I like that term because it's 100% true. And it's, again, I've talked about this before. It's one of the reasons why people hire trainers.
Yes, is to make the decision for them, 100%. Because trainers tell you what to do and coaches change lives. Isn't that right?
And so 2 more things related to this, and we'll call her a day. Stick to it. Here's the thing about this. You've heard, I'm guessing, Kitty, you've heard 21 days to create a habit.
I have.
Thing.
I've also heard 365 days.
Yeah, right. And so reading this article that was giving advice on New Year's resolutions, they did say the 21 days. However they phrase that, I don't know if they say create a habit, but it was 6 months to make it part of your personality, which makes more sense to me.
Oh, I like that.
Is it because when somebody asks me or I ask myself, why do I exercise? Years ago I just made it part of my personality. That's the only way I can explain it to anybody. And I'm not saying that it took 6 months. It was years ago. I don't know how long it took. Maybe it took longer than that. But I do think that that's something to go with for listeners out there. It's like, hey, 6 months is a long freaking time.
Absolutely.
But 6 months also goes by like that, right?
Depending on what you're doing, yeah.
So,
I mean, it is a sufficient amount of time to make it into your personality
style. So stick to it and give it that. You know, if somebody gives exercise a goal for 6 months to 9 months to a year, fine, then come and tell me it's not for you. I don't care. But
I love how you say make it a part of your personality.
Yeah.
Like the rebounding stuff, that's a part of my personality. Yeah. I don't teach classes much anymore, but I still rebound because people know me as the boot girl.
Yeah.
And it's a part of who I am.
Yeah. 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 Or you could do what I did, which made it even easier, was get a job in the fitness industry, and then you kind of you kind of have to work out.
Yep.
One last one.
I got a couple too, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the last one I was going to say is keep trying, meaning that I hope you don't screw up and fail after 6 weeks and throw in the towel.
But failure's a part of growth, though.
You know, to use an analogy that I hope I don't get judged on, but if you're a heroin addict in recovery and you screw up and go do heroin, you don't just say, well, I guess I'm a heroin addict now.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. You know, if meth is your choice and then you relapse, most of the time, and speaking from personal, very close family that has addictions to this, it's not that they relapsed, it's that they lied about relapsing. Yeah. So they're lying to themselves and lying to everyone around them and asking for help. Yeah. You know, whether it be with creating a new pattern or habit in your psyche, or whether it be keeping you on the straight and narrow, ask for help. And I don't think that blasting it all over social media is asking for help. I think having a couple people that are really in your corner to keep you accountable to yourself, that would be something. Maybe if you do want to tell someone, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, got it.
Also with tracking, I wanted to talk about. So my husband, a couple years ago, he actually got one of those big calendars from like Office Max or whatever.
I've got one.
And he put 90 days, 3 months, January, February, March, and he crossed it off every day that he did not smoke. And he stopped smoking.
Yeah, right. That's
he
good.
Absolutely stopped smoking because I could see it, he could see it. Yeah. And it was more like I want to knock off every effing one of these days. And I was so proud of him by the end of it.
I dig that. That's good. That's a great way to quit smoking.
And he did a great job. Shout out to you, Ryan. I'm still proud of you.
Yeah.
And then another one, be prepared in the sense of know your triggers. Know the people that trigger you to eat that cheesecake when you go out for your dinner.
Yeah.
Or, know what is going to get in your way because you know thyself. Yeah. And that's what that self-reflection part really was, is know yourself. Know what's going to get in your way.
It's easier said than done.
It is.
I love the advice. I've been trying to, and I've been successful for the most part at drinking less. The social drinking. I'm a social drinker. I'm known to be more than a social drinker, probably on a weekend here and there. Like if I ever did see Kitty in the Entourage, I'd probably have 6-8 drinks. I don't know. We'll see if that day ever comes.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll let you know, everybody. I'll let you know when he shows up.
She's not hopeful at this point. But I got this friend.
Some good gigs coming up.
I got this friend who likes to drink, and I'm like, and I've tried to tell him, like, dude, during the week I'm not like I probably need to sit down and say, just because I don't need a lot of encouragement.
You don't need a lot of encouragement.
He could text me now on whatever day it is and just say, hey, do you want to have a couple drinks? And it's so hard. But anyway, so I guess my point on that is in cases like that, you might want to have a conversation. Like, let's say this is a kind of a weird analogy, but let's say you were still a smoker.
Okay.
But Ryan said, I'm done. You can keep smoking.
Sure. That
would have been, imagine if he's crossing that off and you're like, oh, come on, let's go have us. I mean, that's just, what kind of
that would make me feel like crap.
Right.
You're trying to quit.
You'd never do that. You'd never do that, but you'd be surprised.
You would.
How many people out there would.
Well, and okay, so let's talk about Ryan and smoking. Right. So a lot of times he goes on something called shenanigans with all of his high school friends. He has a summer shenanigans and a winter shenanigans. And whenever they get
like
together.
A bender?
Yeah, exactly right. And all of them smoke cigs like crazy.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there with his best friend who's got major health problems, smoking like a stack.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it. And that takes a certain amount of willpower and self-control anyway.
Yeah.
So it's once you reach that goal, it's much easier to tell yourself that you don't want to go back.
I like it. I dig it. All right, hey, we're under the gun. We're going to go, but I got to read my story.
Do it. Oh, sweet. My story at powerblock.com if you have something to share with us.
We got a short one, and then we're going to, by the way, our sponsor is Powerblock. Go to powerblock.com. Get the best.
Built different.
Yeah, get the best equipment out there.
It's
adjustable dumbbells, adjustable kettlebells, accessories. If you're looking to get fit, looking to have a home gym or add to your home gym, or you have a gym membership but you don't want to go to the gym all the time, you can supplement it with equipment.
Before January 19th, you can have them in your own house.
Yeah, right on. All right, here it is, the short version. My ex-husband left power blocks in the garage. I was going to sell them, even had the ad on Craigslist, but then decided to give them a whirl. That was 3 years ago, and now my garage is a pretty fully equipped gym, treadmill, kettlebells, and my wonderful power blocks. It's funny because I wasn't into fitness until 3 years ago. I'm 51 years old and look better than I did at 21 thanks to power blocks.
Get it.
Yeah. Kitty, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jason. We'll see you next week, yeah?
Peace out.
Awesome.